hey, I had an issue with this. Can you help me with that? And they'll bring their jack over, and sometimes it's, oh, I didn't know that. It was my fault. Or something as simple as like, oh, hey, you need to do this for, you need to prime your jack. A lot of times people don't understand, like, hey, I need to prime it.
I'm Aaron here with LSK Suspension. We're pretty excited today. We've got the guys here from Pro Eagle. If you guys want to introduce yourselves.
Yeah, I'm Chuck. I am the general manager of Pro Eagle. Started it in 2013, and here we are.
My name's Kyle. I've been with Pro Eagle for 3 or 4 years now, and I help sell at the events and even open houses, anything like that.
So just to kind of talk about the flagship products that you guys offer. The first is the floor jack, which everyone knows about. I mean, it's a really popular item, see them everywhere. And can you tell us more about the floor jack? What makes them so great?
Yeah, actually, we started off with the 2-ton non-big wheel jack. That was in 2013, and many people that we saw and got to talk to said that it would never last and nobody's ever going to buy it. Nobody's ever going to pay $250 for a jack when you can go to the store down the street and buy one for $50. But so now they're almost triple that. But we offer a 1.5-ton big wheel jack. We have a 2-ton big wheel and the 3-ton big wheel. And 3-ton is by far outsells everything because it's got the most height. It's the longest. It offers
and what
the
would
most
you
capacity.
Like if I'm picking a 1.5-ton versus a 3-ton, like why would I buy a 1.5-ton? Is that for like a light duty truck or a car?
Yeah, I tell anybody with like a Tacoma, Jeep, 4Runner, the Ford Bronco, that kind of stuff to think about what you're going to do with the jack.
Okay.
Is it going to live in the back of the truck or in the back of the Jeep, or are you going to use it in the Jeep and in the garage, or are you going to use it mainly in the garage? If it's just the garage jack, then you can go with the 2-ton or even the 3-ton if you wanted to. But if you're going to carry it with you, we actually, for whatever reason, it seems like the Tacoma customers, for the most part, will listen to people on the internet and on the forums, and they'll get the 3-ton jack, and then they'll call back and say, hey, is there any way I can downgrade this jack because it's too big? It's too heavy for my truck, and it's too much for what I need. So I always try to tell people to think about what your use of the jack is going to be before I recommend the product for you. So like I said, if you're going to have a Jeep or something with storage space is minimal and you're going to take it with you on the trail, I always tell people that the 1.5-ton will lift the whole side of your vehicle all at one time. It's not an issue at all, but it's going to be smaller, lightweight. It doesn't have as much height because it's smaller. But think about what your usage is going to be before you make that decision.
Is there a difference in material between the 1.5 to 3-ton? Is it just the size? Is it aluminum, steel?
Yeah, they're all aluminum. We have a steel shop jack coming out soon, but currently all of our jacks are aluminum. They have a steel skid plate, and then obviously all the hardware and everything is steel. But we've since in the past year we've changed over to stainless steel. It's just those things that we've learned in the evolution of the product.
Yeah.
What do you mean you left it in the back of your truck for 24/7? And you live next to the beach, and it's already rusting. Okay, well, we have to address that,
Yeah.
So it's not just the people who live at the beach; it's people from Alaska or whatever it might be that get moisture and rain and such. And so, okay, well, we'll address that, and we've improved the hardware and all that stuff along the way. So.
Awesome, yeah. And I saw actually at King of the Hammers, you guys were servicing jacks, and it's kind of cool to see like the company itself caring about their product. Were you guys doing that for free, or there was a service?
Yeah, it was no charge. We always offer that. People can bring their jacks to us, and we'll rebuild them. We'll send them parts and pieces if they want to. But at big events like that, the racers are there, and quite often, myself included, we forget that we have to maintain your tools as well. So we offer that for them. Anything from just changing the fluid in it to repairing parts and pieces that they may have damaged over the year. Since we last saw them.
Yeah, and that's cool because, like, as you can imagine, like if you're in your garage and you have a jack and it breaks and you bought it from, the store down the street or auto parts store, you're just going to throw that thing away. There's no way you're getting parts for it unless you really dig deep. And so it's cool to have something that, years down the line, you guys could fix it and make it like a new jack again. I think there's value to that.
Absolutely. We had quite a few people that said, hey, we have this other brand jack, can you help us with that? And unfortunately, none of our parts will match up with it, but I can direct you to the closest store, which is 2.5 hours away. Otherwise, that's why we're here, is to service our customers.
Do you have a mount for all 3 of those size jacks for it to go in the back of a truck? If
Correct.
I want to put You do have them?
Yeah. So even all of our floor jacks have their own specific mount. The handles fit underneath it. We have a toolkit that's made by Boxo that specifically fits in our mount.
Wow.
It's a breaker bar and some sockets. So and each one of them they're all stainless steel as well.
Very cool.
And some of what we do at the shows too is a lot of it is education. You have a lot of people coming in and people that are real about it going, why do I want your jack? I see your jack, I hear it, and even at all the events, you'll see it like, hey, I see all these teams running it. Why do I need it if I'm going to be just lifting my toy or my side-by-side or stacker to where we have all of our stuff lined up and you can go through the 1.5, the 2, the 3, and even the Phoenix jacks to raise your UTV. They're going, hey, is there one for all? Or can I, if I have my toy, what do I need? So like he was saying, the 1.5 ton, a lot of it, you have a Tacoma, you can lift your Tacoma with your side-by-side, no problem. Sometimes people get the 3 ton if I have a trailer. I'm going to put 2 cars in it, fuel tanks, it's going to be filled.
They want to use it for anything.
And I have my dually, or it's a 5th wheel. A lot of these people, you see all those trailers and RVs, they need that 3 ton, and we actually make a trailer, a ball hitch, to where people are going, how am I going to get this back on my truck or where I'm going to maneuver it? You can use our jack, the 3 ton, put the hitch ball attachment to it, and it's you, a single guy, literally lifting it and moving it into, you don't want to back your dually up for an inch or 2. You can just move it. And
That's
then
cool.
that way you can park, and without having to get in your car and, tell your guy, hey, keep coming, you can do all that stuff. So a lot of people don't know about it, and they literally ask, Joe Blow, why do I need that jack? It looks too intense for me. And then they see it work and they go, oh, okay. Hey, you want this jack to last you? And if the team accept it, hey, I think it'll work for me. No problem.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool. So honestly, the floor jack's awesome. See them everywhere. You guys are killing it in that game. You have the mounts for it. It's like a no-brainer. I also saw that you guys, and I've seen them out in the field, as those CO2 jacks. Like, why would someone pick that over a floor jack? Is it just the size and the utility of it?
Yeah, it's actually an onboard jack for smaller vehicles, whether it's a UTV or even small Jeeps. And that way, you have a product in your car that can change a tire if you need to when you're out in the boondocks, and you don't have to lug around a 50-pound floor jack with you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it comes in a carrying case, and
it's a soft case. It comes with CO2 cartridges to operate it, a regulator, which moves the user back away from it, so you're not close to the vehicle when it's moving up and down. And if you wanted to mount it on the car, hard mount it, we offer a stainless steel hard mount, a roll bar mount as well. So.
Very cool.
And there's even a soft holster for the regulator and the CO2, so everything can be within arm's reach to where you don't need the bag anymore. And our soft holster has the regulator attachment with the hose, the CO2 cartridges, so you can put them right next to each other, grab the actual jack itself, grab the regulator, put it on there, and you're talking about all said and done, it'll take you probably a minute and a half to get everything ready and under the side-by-side. For something as simple as a tire change or, hey, I broke an arm, you can at least grab it real quick and assess the situation without having to, hey, where is it? Where did I leave it? Let me move the cooler. Everything's right there.
I'm assuming it's pretty fast.
Yeah.
And how many times, it looks like a paintball size, cartridge or CO2 cartridge. How many times are you going to be able to get to use it on that one fill?
Yeah, so that actually has, like I said, we supply it with 4 CO2 cartridges in it, and then we offer an adapter. Power Tank makes a small fire extinguisher size bottle.
Okay.
So the small cartridges are going to give you 1 to 2 lifts, and then the larger bottle is going to be about 20, 25 lifts.
And where do I go to get that refill? Do I have to buy a new bottle, or do I bring it to
the small cartridges we sell on our website?
Okay.
You can buy them at Big 5 Sporting Goods or off of Amazon in bulk. And then the
little miniature CO2s, correct, right? And then the big one.
The big bottle, you buy it directly from us or from Power Tank, and then you go to a paintball store and they refill it.
Yeah, and that's where you get the 20, 25 lifts.
Correct,
that's pretty cool.
And it's only $5 to $6 to have it refilled.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool. Yeah. So as far as those are your flagship products, and coming into the future, what do you have coming out soon for everyone to get excited about?
Yeah, we actually have, like I mentioned earlier, we have a shop jack, which will be more of a price point jack and entry-level jacks that have the same quality and craftsmanship that people have come to know from Pro Eagle, but without all the added accessories. I don't need the extension. I don't need to have a skid plate. I don't need to have a mount for my vehicle. So we took all that stuff off of it. It'll be a steel frame jack, which just allows us to make it a little bit cheaper cheaper. So that'll be used in anywhere from shops to a discount tire to your standard customer in his garage or his home. And then we have later in the year we'll have a full high-end, high-quality U.S.-built jack.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
We're trying to get all ends of the spectrum, whether you off-road, you have a car. I mean, most of us, we all have the toy and the car at home. Hey, my jack doesn't lift my car. It's too tall or too, my car's too low, or even just a standard size.
Yeah.
A lot of it was we wanted to make our name in that aspect and go like, hey, we're all car enthusiasts. What can we do to, hey, we want to be in everyone's garage. We don't want it just to be in the chase truck or on the team. We want, hey, can I buy one for my toy, leave it in my garage, and then, hey, one for all my cars. Like my wife has a car for something as simple as tire rotation or an oil change. And that's where he's in it, to where he grew up in the car world, in the racing world, to where we all had those cars, and then we had the fun toys. What can we do for all ends of the spectrum?
Yeah.
Very cool. And the wheels are meant to be rolled in dirt, and it's you've geared it for something off-road. It's not just something you're buying at the auto parts
even
store.
The zip ties in the garage. Even those zip ties. We always make the joke about you can throw zip ties and it runs right through it.
Yeah, that's cool. Very cool.
And it's surprising, like I said, the part of the inspiration for the shop jack came from friends and connections that I have in the drift world, because they have, vehicles and they're pitting in gravel parking lots, and, it's not easy to roll a steel wheel jack around in those gravel parking lots. But our current jacks are a little bit too tall to fit underneath the drift car.
Got it.
So they still want that ease of movement, but without the extra height and all the other accessories from an off-road jack.
Okay, very cool. And then just kind of talking about King of the Hammers, we were out there last week. We saw your jacks everywhere. I mean, it was absolutely everywhere. It was really cool to see. I mean, you guys have a big name in the industry. And what did you guys think of King of the Hammers? Did you guys have a good experience there? Was there a lot of people visiting your booth? And
My experience is probably a little bit different than Kyle's. From an ownership perspective, it was fantastic to be there and to see all the product being used, to see all the drivers come through and talk to them and shake their hands and have them thank us for building a product that makes their lives easier.
Yeah.
Making deals with people that want sponsorship or people that want a discount or whatever it may be. But it was, like I said, it was just fun. It's an experience for us every single year. 11 days out at King of the Hammers gets very, very old very fast.
Yeah, all the wind blowing and everything, the dust everywhere.
Right, yeah.
I can only imagine. It's
a lot of hard work. We don't go out there to play around. We get to play around, but it's a lot of work when we're there. But Kyle is he's a little bit more in the trenches than me, and so he's doing a lot more work than me. It's just a different type of work. So,
okay.
Yeah.
What's nice to see on my end is, I always joke, when you're out there in King of Hammers, white guys with beards, sunglasses, and hat, we all look the same. So lots of times they'll be like, hey, are you Chuck? Are you Kyle? So it's funny seeing people coming up to me and they'll be like, hey, I just want to say I love your jack. And I don't know them from anything. And they don't know if I'm the owner or whatnot. But you'll have people that are full teams or just Joe Blow going, hey, I came out here last year.
Yeah.
I saw your jack. I bought it. I love your jack. I love what you guys do. And some of them are going, I don't know what it is about your jack, but I've used it and I love it. And then when they see the servicing, they'll ask, oh, how much is that? They're like, hey, I tell them, you're a customer with us, you're a customer for life. We'll help you. And like I said before about the education, some people go, hey, I had an issue with this. Can you help me with that? And they'll bring their jack over. And sometimes it's, oh, I didn't know that. It was my fault. Or something as simple as like, oh, hey, you need to do this for, you need to prime your jack. A lot of times people don't understand, like, hey, I need to prime it. If you use it a bunch or use it once and then it gets stored for a while, sometimes you just need to prime it.
So explain what is priming the jack?
You can go for it. You're the one that does
okay.
you do the tutorial videos on the YouTube.
So we get it all the time, and unfortunately, the internet blows up with people going, oh, my jack doesn't work, this piece of junk, whatever. And it's very, very simple. All you got to do is turn the handle counterclockwise 1 or 2 turns, and then pump it 10 times.
Is it just bleeding?
Yeah,
the cylinder?
It just pushes all the trapped air out. Over time, the pressure inside the pump will equalize with outside pressure. And when that happens, that means just there's too much air inside it. You guys know from shocks and such, you can't compress air. It just bounces back and forth.
Right.
So all you're doing is pushing all that excess out. Like I said, we've had a lot of internet warriors, and even we had a trophy truck driver that said, oh, this thing was it's a piece of junk, it doesn't work, and so I reached out to him and told him what he needed to do, and 10 seconds later he was deleting the post saying, hey man, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize it was that simple.
Yeah.
So,
it's good to know, and a lot of people aren't going to know that. I didn't even know about priming the jack.
And we've got people that are like, hey, I use it every season. So they use it a lot early on, and then they store it. Like, hey, and they go, hey, now I won't pump. And sometimes they go like, oh, it's the pump. And it's just because naturally you're going to think like I did something, or hey, it's just the part itself. And then as soon as you explain to the prime, they go, oh, let me try that. I've had people leave our booth, come back, and they go, or the next day, hey, Kyle, I tried that. Dude, it's like a charm again.
That's
so
awesome.
It's pretty much like, and they can say like, oh, now I told all my friends. I had one guy, this KOH, actually tell me he was at his camp and people were having similar issues or questioning. He told him about priming. He goes, dude, you should have seen all of us 4 dudes at a campfire all like pumping our jacks by itself, because they're like, oh, it pretty much rejuvenates it. So with that being said, it's nice to, I came from, the car world and getting in the off-road world, I learn about stuff. And it was nice that the stuff that I learned about, to where you talk to these people, and the people that really want to know about stuff, they walk away going like, okay, I'm not just buying the jack. I'm buying the Pro Eagle mindset. And then when they literally see that servicing, people are in love with that. The fact that, because it's not just random people, the people that are working on it is one of the engineers that works at Pro Eagle, to where she can tell you every little nut and bolt in that jack or the pump, and can tell you, yeah, I designed that, or hey, we saw this issue, we've updated it since, and this kind of stuff, to where people are actually going, okay, I'm not just returning a product or I'm asking questions. They're asking the people that they're going to see on Instagram, Facebook, any of that stuff. It's not just, oh, call the 1-800 number and let me input your info. You have people that, hey, we found an issue or it got brought to our attention, and, oh, hey, you have an issue with it. Let's walk through it. We even have people send us pictures. Hey, can you show us what your issue is, or what you're having a problem? I can't grasp it. And we'll send them the part. Or at KOH, we have miscellaneous parts. It could be something as simple as a quick bolt, and they're like, oh, okay, now my extension works, or now my holder for the extension can, from just bouncing around, it fell off on my truck 6 months ago.
Because these parts are being bounced around in off-road cars, stuff is going to come apart just like the off-road cars do, unfortunately.
Exactly.
As much as we all believe, you almost have to prep your jack, just like you prep the cars, right?
Right. Yeah. Like I said, we're putting a lot of time and effort to prep our race vehicles and even our daily drivers. You take it to get your oil changed, and whatever it may be, it's their service that you have to do on them. Any moving part is going to need service.
Awesome. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. It's obviously clear you guys have a huge presence in the industry, a really good name, big name, and you guys really care about your product. I mean, just in the serviceability and showing you guys, or just seeing what you guys have to offer, even out at the show, really shows people that you guys are killing it. So, as I know, actually, you're running an LSK product on your vehicle right now, right?
Yeah, so I actually have grown up in the Inland Empire, and probably about 4 or 5 years ago when I bought my truck, I ended up meeting a buddy named Chris that actually works for another company, Cali Ray's LED, and he had a Tacoma with an LSK kit. And I had just bought my truck. I was just going to do a mid-travel setup, very low-key. And, of course, I meet other friends just like Chuck and I that, hey, I did this and I did this, and we'll give you that little bug to start doing stuff. And I saw his kit on Tacoma, and the first thing out of his mouth, he goes, LSK is coming out with some new stuff. Like, they're all, like, redesigning products. And he goes, they want to do the Tundras, and they're looking, I just got the Tacoma. He goes, if I could tell you anything, you need to start looking at these guys. And then legitimately, and Chris will attest to it, from that day forward, I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm going to go the LSK route. And I ended up deciding, hey, I'm going to go your guys' full-blown 4x4 race kit in the front. And I decided to do the link kit in the rear, because if I was going to go full-on, I'd rather do it the right way. And also, the fact that your guys' link kit, when people look at it, yes, it's fully off-road, you're going to make it into a long travel, but you still keep some of the drivability that notoriously, like me growing up and seeing all the Ford Rangers and the Silverados, to where you're going to lose drivability. And we all know you're going to lose some. It's going to happen. But with your guys' kit, I mean, it's everybody that's ridden into my car, they're like, I've never ridden this. What have you done to it? And it's like, it rides like a Cadillac for a truck with 38s on it, supercharger, and they go, dude, how much suspension do you have in this? This thing rides like nobody else. And since then, I have turned a lot of people on that LSK, just because of the fact of who you guys are. Same thing with us.
Hey, we appreciate that. Thank you.
Same thing with us. They talk to you guys. They're talking to the people that know about their product, not, hey, let me put you on hold. Let me go ask the guy. And I've loved it since, to where, I mean, I've been a fan. I want to say that's probably about 2018. I bought my truck right around 2017, early 2018. And I've been a fan since.
Do you get to take it out often off-road?
Yeah, so right now it's actually getting an interior cage in it up there in Arizona with my buddies at SS Built. And I had the front long travel on for a while with the fiberglass and everything like that. And just that alone, I noticed a huge difference. And that was a change for me I've never driven a long travel truck.
Yeah.
And I remember driving it and anticipating a lot of things that I heard about. And I'm like, did I do something wrong? This truck drives way better than I assumed it would.
Right.
And then other people like Chuck or the people who've driven, they're like, I've driven some long travel trucks and it's better than what I expected or what I grew up with. And I expected, I'm going to be driving like this on the road. And you're just like, dude, what did you do to the front end? And that was even before I did the back.
Wow.
Just the front alone, people were like, oh, I have to have this. I have to have this set up just for the mere fact of, I don't know what you did, but I want it.
Awesome. And that kit is one of our most popular ones.
And I tell everyone, the fact of the matter is that everything you guys have made has been specifically designed for that truck. Like, we brought the truck in, we tore it down, we did what we thought worked, and whatever doesn't, we redesign it.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, I really appreciate the support. We're really excited you guys came in with us today. Thank you for spending the time and letting us know all the cool stuff you have coming out, and let us know about your great product. And make sure to leave comments below in the for feedback, and then also let us know, what other companies you'd like to see, any other stuff that you'd like us to see on this podcast, and we appreciate it. We'll see you guys next time.